Hello and happy Friday. It turns out Glamour magazine finally did it. They found 30 celebrities that were willing to come forward and admit publicly to the cosmetic procedures that they've done. Now, the age probably isn't all that surprising. We've got people like Ariana Grande or Selena Gomez, all the way out to Martha Stewart admitting to having cosmetic procedures done. And there are some celebrities that, of course, won't be that surprising. People like Dolly Parton, who's been absolutely hilarious about what she admits that she's done. The Kardashians, again, very public about what's happened. Kris Jenner's had her face done. Khloe's had her nose done. Lips with Kylie Jenner, and there was a whole fad for that for a little while. All of them had Botox filler, and some of even some liposuction and some other things as well. So those have been very public. Well, what about, let's say, a supermodel? Well, of course, all of them have actually come forward to this now. Cindy Crawford talks about Botox. Chrissy Teigen talks about having her breast implants in and out. She didn't in this article talk about the cheek buccal fat removal, but that's been publicly kind of put out there as well. But then you've got people like Christy Brinkley who admits to the Botox, but not really to the facelift that she's had. There are people who are kind of the frequent flyers, people like Jane Fonda who admits to 3 different facelifts, or Sharon Osbourne who also has had 3, but in that, they talk about some of those that have gone wrong, and so that they're actually also helping the industry talk about being careful because they weren't necessarily happy with the results and therefore wanted those corrected, and that's part of the reason why they had multiples done. In that corrective kind of version, people like Courtney Cox have talked about having filler and not liking what the look did to her face, and so she's just stopped doing fillers as well, which again, I think is a very refreshing kind of admittance to both the pros and cons of what we do. There are some other ones that have had multiples done. Megan Fox has had her nose done, her breasts done, the same thing with Kelly Cuoco. You know, those are things that, again, are helpful for us to know. And that's kind of my take-home message as a facial plastic surgeon. Knowing that these people have done something, you know, here we are holding them out to our standards of beauty, and, you know, they're out splashed all over all kinds of different media sources. It's helpful to know that in truth in advertising, these are people who have had some work done. They've had some help to get there. And instead of them hiding behind, you know, some kind of concern of saying it's just natural beauty and I age well and I eat right, you know, the truth of the matter is they've had procedures done to help them either improve or maintain their natural beauty. The other part of it I think that's helpful for me is that you can also, as a facial plastic surgeon, helpful for me is that you can also get the indication that these things, these procedures can be done under the radar where people don't necessarily know. And so Sofia Vergara, for example, came forward and said, well, of course, I actually do Botox. And I don't think a lot of people would recognize that or know that. So even though they're willing to admit it, done in the right hands, done in the right setting, done with the right people, you should actually get great natural results with these as well. So congrats for everybody coming forward. I appreciate this, you know, kind of truths that we do know that when we talk about holding people into these natural levels of beauty or these beauty kind of norms, that we know that they can be achieved, but they can be achieved with a little help done with the right people.